I bid you a good morning. This is the Carsalesguru here, and this morning I'm going to try and make these a little bit shorter because I do understand with download and all that, not everyone's got unlimited download like I have. Lucky me. Mind you, I pay a bloody fortune for it. Today I want to talk about the person that you're about to go and see to buy a car. And my opinion, and a lot of dealers won't like what I have to say, but I'm not on here for the dealers, I'm on here for you. Now, you probably wonder why I'm wearing a silly old hat and I'm wearing a t-shirt. Well, first of all, I'm not working today. And secondly, in the dealership that I worked at, people that own these dealerships normally have been in the trade for a long, long time. So we're talking about the father. The father started off in the 70s or the early 80s, and there was one way of doing it, and there was no internet, and it was quite primitive and quite rorty, and good on these guys. They work damn hard, and they're benefiting from it now. Now a lot of their sons now are taking over the dealerships. But the father still has the input. The trouble is the father's still using the 70s, a little bit of the 70s. And what I wanted to talk about, you walk into a dealership and we all joke about suits. And I'm a big believer that buying a motor car, you don't have to go up to a guy that's wearing a white shirt and a tie and a pair of slacks and a pair of shoes to buy a motor car. The reason I say that is because as soon as you see that sort of funeral director look, your your brain says straight away, salesman, right? Salesman in the car trade. There's nurses up the top, nurses and doctors up the top of the job scale, and guess what's down the bottom of the job scale? Unfortunately, lawyers and car salespeople. Even though today you get a fantastic experience in a lot of dealerships, it's not like it was 10 years ago. People still remember probably their last experience, unfortunately judged the salesperson by their last experience. So I know it'll be hard to find out there, but even say to the salesman, for God's sake, take off your tie, relax. Because a tie is a restriction. And restriction means, a lot of them hate wearing ties. And you know what? The ties they wear, because they don't even know how to, a lot of these young guys don't even know how to do a tie up properly. It looks crap, it looks terrible on them anyway. But what I would like you to think about is the person you're dealing with. Have a good look at him. Is he shaven? Is his shirt ironed? Is his shoes scuffed? Is he smelling right? Has he had a garlic focaccia for lunch and not bothered to eat some PK chewing gum? Because these are all things about selling. You're going to be with this person for 90 minutes, 3 hours, 1 hour, whatever, and you want to feel like you're being sold to by a true professional. Now, a lot of the modern day dealerships now have polo shirts and they look great. They have the name badge of the salesperson. There's a real reason for that, so that you never forget their name. It's not the fact that my name's Paul, it's so that you don't forget their name. But I want you to put them to a test. In the first 5 minutes of meeting them, see if they can remember your name, because you'll probably find your name will be called mate. A lot of salespeople hear what you're saying, but don't listen to what you're saying. And if they're not listening now, they're definitely not going to be listening later on when you really, really want the one with the tow bar and the one that's red. Red, does that mean maroon? The one with the tow bar, we can put that on for $600. No, I've come in on the car that's red. It's got a tow bar. You're not listening to me. You're hearing what I'm saying, but you're not listening to me. So the difference between hearing and listening. But first of all, personal opinion. And the young ladies, there are a lot of young lady female salespeople out there, and they normally are very, a lot of customers I find would approach a female salesperson before a male salesperson. Reason? They're not wearing a shirt and tie. They're very neatly dressed, and they're hopefully softly spoken, not too out there, and they know their product. If you're dealing with a used car salesman and he's wearing shiny sunglasses, even though it's a warm day and a hot day and all that, and he comes up to you and introduces himself and he won't take his glasses off, right? That to me is rude. That to me is he's not prepared to show his eyes. Now, what I would do is, if you're wearing sunglasses, I would take mine off. Hi, how are you? I'm John. He should then respond, or she should respond by taking theirs off. Hi, I am Brian. And if I was a salesperson, I'd say, listen, it's a pretty sunny day. Do you mind if I put my sunglasses back on? Because I do get affected by, my eyes do get affected by the sun. And of course, I can't see many customers saying no. Right? I'd have a look at him. I'd smell that he hadn't had bourbon from the night before, like he's had a big night out, because I'm about to spend a lot of money and I want absolute and utter unadulterated attention from the sales professional. Now the next part is, does he know his product? I've got $10,000 that I want to spend, and do you have any automatic 4-cylinder cars under $10,000? Now the guy's got 40 cars. An average yard has 40 to 60 cars in its yard of used. That's a medium-sized yard. Big yards have over 100. But these guys are there 10 hours a day, and it ain't hard to walk around that yard and work out 20 Holdens, 5 Fords, 3 Daihatsus. They should be walking around finding the specials, because the manager will always put specials on for the weekend. These same sales professionals should also be looking at the advertising that the dealership's doing. But unfortunately, some of them, they start at 8:30 in the morning and they get there at 8:29. You know, I used to say to my guys, 8:30, be here at 8. 8 o'clock is for the cup of coffee. 8 o'clock is for the quick sales meeting in the morning. Sales meeting in the morning was basically to see what deliveries we had for the day, what follow-ups we could do, and to give out car sale leads, because a lot of leads come through the internet, and internet leads are probably worth their weight in gold. So today's quick lesson is just the person you're dealing with. Don't be afraid. You're in control, not them. They think they're in control. All right, they're obviously they're going to say things like, let's go for a test drive, and that's up to you, and all that sort of stuff. But you're in control. Your money, and if they can't even remember your bloody name, then that's not the person you want to be dealing with, because their name is stapled on their chest. You'll never forget their name. What, do you have to have one as well? That's not the way it works. And if he doesn't acknowledge, or she doesn't acknowledge your wife, or your children, or your grandma, or whoever the hell's with you, uncle, sometimes one of them, we call it the negotiator, which is Eddie the expert. That's fine. If it's a mechanic friend of yours, it's only there for your best interest. If we've got nothing to hide from you, do what you want. Customers, you may ask, can I do it? Get an RSV check on it. If the salesman gives you that look of despair and a look of, there's something he's hiding. Or he wants to do a deal in 20 seconds. You know, they say in the car trade, if you spend 90 minutes with a customer, you are allowed to ask for their business. That's what the technical side is. But I don't care if I spend 9 months with you, because you know what? Persistence does overcome resistance. You are looking for a car, and you may not just be looking today. You may be looking for 3 months' time when your superannuation policy gets paid out. But don't forget, with cars, you can leave deposits, and if your money's not coming for another month or so, if it's in an investment account or whatever, if the deal looks good or looks too good to be true, and you've had an RSV check and all that, put a deposit on it and have it sitting in their yard until your money comes through. Don't look at your force in the mouth, because you know, so many people don't believe salespeople. They'll say, "There's only it'll be gone. I've had other leads on it," and they go, "Well, here's the saying that I love: if it's meant to be, it's meant to be." That saying I have heard so many times, and the customer comes back, and my God, the look on their face when you say you actually sold the car. You know, all these sayings that you may be thinking, like I'm a tyre kicker. What does that mean? I'm a tyre kicker. No, you're a potential car buyer. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. That's a lie. That's just leave me alone for a little while. I need more time to think about it. If it's here tomorrow, then I'll buy it. Well, why did you just waste today? You know, I don't get it. Isn't time precious? You're coming on a Saturday. You work 50 hours for the week. You're coming on a Saturday. You've got your family. You've got your little kids. One of them's crying his head off, and you want to go through all this again? You know, your car. If you're offended by the trade-in price, tell him. Don't just walk away and go, oh, well, it's worth $2,000 and then walk away and bag him, because don't shoot the messenger. The salesman's not the person that valued your car. And you don't have to sell your car. There are so many other avenues you can sell your car. You don't have to sell your car. If you're looking at financing, I said it again, it's all about repayments. But how much do you really know that you can afford to spend unless you talk to a finance man? You don't. But some people don't want to ask. Who knows? You get a $15,000 car and still pay the same repayments that you thought you could have got for a $10,000 car. Who knows? If you're prepared to spend $1,000 or $2,000 on a car, be prepared for a problem. That's not a car to me. That is absolute trouble. And if someone was coming in and bringing their daughter in and saying that I want to spend $3,000 or $4,000 on my daughter, please, I've got a 21-year-old daughter myself. If you can't even put an airbag in front of her, have her walk or use public transport, because the statistics on the roads are absolutely terrible. And don't do it. I know you've got a budget, but the girl also needs a credit rating. So put the $5,000 towards her finance application and get her a credit rating. If she gets a good credit rating at a young age, she is laughing for the rest of her life. This cash thing, we need finance in our life. Unless you're very lucky and win Tats Lotto, you'll need it for a house, you should need it for a car, you may need it for a block of land, and maybe for a trip around the world, I don't know. But don't be put off by finance. Of course we have to pay interest. Goodness gracious me. Everyone has to make money. Everyone gets a lick, You might be a plumber. And if you were a plumber and you came to my house and you wanted to put your hand down my toilet, you're worth your $60 an hour, because I'm not going to bloody do it. Well, everyone's allowed to make a living. So today it's all about personal appearance on the salesman and get rapport with him, but get to like him or her, because that's the person you're going to be dealing with. And if they're not prepared to look good for you, find someone that is.